Hey, man, welcome back to another episode of the No Hedging Podcast. I am your host, Ty the Jet. This is my guy.
Rip 16.
Hey, man, week 6 is wrapped up, tucked away, tied up.
Yeah.
A lot of craziness.
Yeah, week 6 was chaos, madness, psychotic. You know the Allstate commercial with Mayhem? That was week 6.
A lot of unexpected things happened this weekend. And I will say, a lot of money lost along with it.
He had to take his glasses off this week.
Yeah, I had the glasses on, the shades on last week because I was living the dream. It was all great. This week, came back
The light
down to
is
earth.
blind to me. So what was your takeaways from this very chaotic week 6?
All right, well, there are no more undefeated teams in the league now.
Right.
So we're talking about your Philadelphia Eagles took a loss, their first loss of the season to the New York Jets, and the San Francisco 49ers got their first loss against the Cleveland Browns with P.J. Walker at quarterback and not Deshaun Watson. What a surprise.
P.J. Walker actually did decent in a few games for Carolina
Last year.
So, I mean, I seen flashes of it, of the game he played, but I think that McCaffrey injury, that just really just slowed down the offense.
Yeah, it threw people off. I mean, you got McCaffrey got injured, Debo Samuel got injured,
also got
Trent
injured.
Williams got injured. I mean, he came back, but he was injured nevertheless. And I think the story is more about the Cleveland Browns defense.
Well, the defense has been playing good, though.
Yeah.
That's not new.
Yeah.
The defense has been playing good. They've been, I would say at the top of the league in terms of defense.
Yeah, for
you
sure.
know, Myles Garrett and them boys been getting after it. So that actually wasn't that surprising for me. But, Debo Samuel and McCaffrey going down in the same game, I think if they would have had one of them, they still could have pulled that off.
Yeah.
Because they only lost by 2 points on a missed field goal.
Missed field goal.
So, and actually, what's his name? Mason, who came in?
Yeah, the running back.
The
yeah.
running
He's
back.
solid, yeah.
He did
Yeah,
solid.
he's solid,
So
yeah.
I'm not going to put it on the running game, but I think, McCaffrey is such a dynamic player. Debo Samuel is such a versatile, dynamic player that you can flex them around essentially at wide receiver and running back. So missing those two, I think definitely changed it, but much credit to the Cleveland Browns. They played
Yeah, they brought
hell-fied
it.
defense.
They brought it. They came out there with their heads on fire. They was ready to compete. They was ready to battle. They was physical as well. You know what I'm saying?
They gave that team a shot to win, and the missed field goal took it home.
Yeah, I mean, Brock Purdy, he was running around for his life out there.
Yeah, he was.
It wasn't
Brock Purdy, that was another thing. Brock Purdy first regular season loss.
first regular season
of his
loss.
career.
Yeah. So, I mean, that was against a good team defensively. You know what I'm saying? He had a battle that he had to face, but even though they were down, he was able to bring their team in winning.
But what does that
distance,
implicate?
you know what I'm saying?
What does that implicate for them moving forward, though?
Nothing.
Do you think, as far as Debo Samuel and Christian McCaffrey, I know we still kind of trying to figure out time frames of them being out, but like how does that impact, these next couple of games that they got?
I don't think it sets them back that much. I just think, they just have to make adjustments as far as how they're going to proceed forward. Like even still, they still got receiver. They still got George Kittle. They might need to use Kittle more offensively. You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Kittle only was used once heavily this whole season so far, right? When he scored 3 touchdowns.
Right. And he really didn't even have heavy usage that
No.
game. He just had good timing on his passes.
Right. So I think it's probably going to be a little bit more, Brandon Ayuk, a little bit more George Kittle. They still got a ton of weapons that they could utilize. You know what I'm saying? I just think, Purdy, he did a good job, man. I'm not going to lie to you. Most people probably was expecting him to kind of fail on that last drive, throw a pick, turn the ball over, whatever the case may be. But he did what he had to do, made some big-time throws, put him in position to kick the game-winning field goal. Unfortunately, it missed.
It happens.
It happens. But much credit to the Cleveland Browns. Their defense, they crushed it.
Okay. Another takeaway that I took, also first home game loss for Desmond Ridder in the game against Washington, right? Desmond Ridder saw more.
I knew that was gonna happen.
Desmond Ridder saw more of a regression and threw some picks. More so in the second half, though.
Who are we blaming for these? Who are we blaming for those interceptions, though? Are we blaming Arthur Smith or are we blaming Desmond Ridder?
I would say Ridder.
I'm hearing Arthur Smith needs the blame. That's what I'm hearing from certain
I wouldn't put that on Arthur Smith. I would put it on Ridder. You know, they brought in Van Jefferson. I didn't see him make a huge impact.
He's still fresh. He probably got to get used to the offense.
He probably didn't even get a full weeks of practice. Yeah. So I'm not holding that against him. But Van Jefferson coming in this week as another offensive weapon. You know, he was underutilized in LA. So I'm expecting the Falcons bring him in to try to
they got rid of him for some breadcrumbs, so he wasn't that good in LA.
I mean, but you gotta look at who he had.
He's not consistent. That's just what it was.
Yeah, but
Puka Nacua came in there and stole the show from him.
You got Puka, Cooper, and Tutu. So I mean,
Van was there before Puka and Tutu.
He was. And he got more usage. But you got Puka and Tutu out there now. Of course, that's gonna cut down his usage.
Yeah. So we ain't talking about Van Jefferson. We talking about.
So my whole point being is just that the Falcons have some more weapons moving forward as an additional weapon that you can, you know, play opposite of Drake London to try to get some of those catches. I still think the picks are on Desmond Ridder.
Absolutely. Red zone interception, just threw one up.
Throwing stuff up, you know, not.
Slant to Bijan Robinson, threw it behind the receiver, and he was already covered.
Bad position. Yeah, it was
on
just
3rd and 1.
Like that. So, to me, I put that on Ridder.
Absolutely. That's what I was saying, but some people think I'm crazy.
It was a regression on Ridder. Back to throwing picks, making bad decisions.
Desmond Ridder does not need to drop back 47 times.
No, that's a lot. But I don't feel like you should be dropping back that many times anyway when you have Bijan Robinson and Tyler Algier as your running backs. So I feel like that's supposed to alleviate the pressure. Utilize your running back. Mm-hmm. But they tried to pass the ball to Bijan.
See, what happened was, this is what happened. They saw Desmond Ridder have a good game the week prior, throwing for over 300 yards and getting a dub at the end of the game.
300, yeah.
Oh, let's load him up. Let's trust him. Let's trust him. He's our guy. Motherfucker threw 47 times, 3 interceptions. I bet you they dial that shit back this week.
They're gonna have to, for sure. But my whole thing is, I'm just like, I don't. The receiving core is still developing in a lot of ways too. You still got your best receiver is Drake London, and he's still developing. It's only his second year, so I mean, I'm not gonna come in and just put this tremendous amount of pressure on him to make all these phenomenal catches. Yes, he shows some flashes and he does make some good catches or whatever, but you need time to build that though. Like, he's not coming out being Jamar Chase. Like,
nah. But why can't he?
Because Jamar Chase is Jamar Chase. He's 24/7. 7-11.
I mean, Justin Jefferson, Jamar Chase, they first year, they ain't need no time to build.
You're talking about Justin Jefferson and Jamar Chase.
Hey, talking about Drake London. Wasn't Drake London a first-round pick too?
He was a first-round pick, but you're talking about a number 1 draft pick for a reason. Like,
hey, I'm just saying.
These guys are special.
I'm not making any excuses for it. I don't want to hear it.
Drake London wasn't the problem.
Nah, it wasn't the problem. The problem was Desmond Ridder. And another problem is Bijan needs more touches. I mean, I'm just be honest with you. He needs more touches. He needs more targets. He needs to be overutilized. He needs about 25 to 30 touches a game.
I don't think he was generating that much off of the ground when he did get it.
He averaged like 3. I think Algier had like four something to carry, and he had like 3 something to carry.
So they didn't have like no crazy numbers.
It was good enough though, but you got to stick to it.
Yeah, I think that's why they went away from it.
Yeah, but my thing is with Atlanta is if they play a team, that's why I picked Washington to win, because I know Washington's front. If you pick a team that has a good defensive front and shuts down that run or slows it down to a certain degree, gets them behind the sticks, force Desmond Ridder to throw it on 3rd and long, 3rd and 7, 3rd and 8 plus, that's not the recipe you want. That's not gonna generate. That's not how you want to win games. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's
so
not the
teams that you play with
at winning the game.
Exactly.
Sure.
So anybody that you guys are playing with a good defensive front that's good at slowing down the run or stopping the run, I'm betting my money on that other team because I see what's the sauce to stop the Atlanta Falcons.
Okay. I can see that. My other takeaway was, or did you have another takeaway?
Absolutely. Let's talk about your sorry ass Chargers. Folding again under pressure in the big moment, losing again, close 1-score game. Good thing I ain't bet no money on them because I understand how the Chargers are. You do too.
The Chargers,
let's talk about
it. The Chargers played that game. They stuck in the game. They had some difficulty scoring. Second half, they came out the gate, kind of hot, got an early touchdown with Keenan Allen. They were moving the ball with Eckler in the backfield. But the defense,
they weren't moving it.
I'm talking about Eckler not running, passing to Eckler in the early drives.
Yeah.
They were able to pass to Eckler and let him, he broke away one for maybe like 20-something. But they kind of slowed down a lot on offense. I think Dallas defense kind of pulled it together and kind of slowed a lot of the stuff down and reeled it in. And then the Chargers defense actually played pretty well in that game.
They did
as well.
Besides letting CD go off, but
they let CD cook. But they let CD cook and they let Dak run one for a touchdown. He got a couple runs.
Yeah.
Last
but they
night,
held him to 20 points. It's not bad.
They held him to 20 points total. So the defense really didn't play bad. It was just that last drive they came down. Micah Parsons got a very timely sack. First sack of the game comes at the best time he could get it.
Yeah.
And then the next play, I think Herbert was pressing after the sack, trying to make up those yards, end up throwing a pick. So
I just think they got away from the run game.
Defense.
I think the Chargers got away from the run game a little bit too soon.
I think probably.
You know what I'm saying? Because they got Herbert just sitting back there throwing it. Another questionable decision by Staley can be, him going forward on 4th and 1 and not converting. Maybe taking the points or taking the field goal.
It should have took the field goal.
You know what I'm saying?
That could have been an overtime game.
But that's neither here nor there. You know what I'm saying? But I think the Chargers played great defensively. I think offensively, Keenan Allen went off as we expect. I mean, he cooked. They couldn't stop Keenan Allen. He was always open. I just think Justin Herbert, it was just too many pass attempts. Obviously, he had something wrong with his finger, broke his finger, so he couldn't get under center to hand the ball off. But I think the Chargers got away from the run game too soon, which causes them to be unbalanced, and that's what you don't want to keep that defensive pass rush.
It was very
coming.
similar. It was very Falcon-esque.
That pass rush just kept
away
coming.
from it and had a pass rush coming after you, and eventually it caused some turnovers.
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. I give credit to the Dallas defense for stepping up when they did.
Must win for them though. They needed that one more than the Chargers did. I promise.
They did. They really did. The good news for the Chargers is, well, not really. I take that back because Vegas won. So the Raiders won, so that bumps them back some. The Broncos lost.
They're gonna be in the basement.
They're gonna stay in the basement.
Yeah. So it's the Chiefs.
The Chiefs have the division to win.
Yeah, it's a lot.
The division is the Chiefs to lose.
It's a lot. They're not losing it. 5-1.
They're
Raiders
not
3-3.
losing it. But my concern, one of my takeaways, I was a little bit concerned that the Broncos defense really stifling the Chiefs for a long time during that game. Now, that receiving core is a problem against a good team. Them playing against the Broncos, they could pull it off, but you can't just have Kelsey as your only target and win against a really good team. And that's my problem with the Chiefs right now. I think the division is still theirs to lose, but if they come in contact with somebody who's really good on both sides of the ball in the playoffs, they're in trouble with them receivers.
I think they'll figure it out before it get to that point.
They need a trade.
You know what I'm saying? They do need a receiver though. I mean, it's obvious they need a receiver. But I think Rashee Rice is going to be that guy. He's been coming. He's been stepping up. It looked like Pat got a little bit more confidence and trust in him, giving him some more targets. He's explosive. He can get that yard after the catch. So I think over time, them working together a little bit more, getting more reps. I think he's going to be that guy that they need. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, it was a divisional game, divisional opponent. They know each other to a certain degree, and that's just how those games are. They usually play each other a little bit tighter.
They play tighter. I mean,
you know what I'm saying?
Mean more.
Yeah, they play each other a little bit more tighter.
Double, so
I didn't expect the Chiefs to blow them the hell out. You know what I'm saying? I did expect it to be a little bit closer than what it was, nevertheless.
Right.
The Eagles, you know what I'm saying? The Eagles, Jalen Hurts looked crazy.
Woo, another takeaway.
Jalen Hurts looked a little bit crazy on Sunday. That Jets defense is for real.
Yeah.
That Jets defense for real had Jalen Hurts seeing 13 guys over there throwing interceptions. You threw 3 picks. The one in the end of the game was uncharacteristic, floating back, threw it straight to the guy.
They looked like they didn't really know what to do with the defense.
Yeah, it was.
They didn't know how to handle the defense in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, it was.
That defense was dialed up. They was fired up. They was after it. They did a great job in the fourth quarter, especially. The Jets pulled off. Brees had a solid game. He ran better than we expected.
Yeah.
In that game, I think it was one of those situations where they kind of stuck to it and let him finally break loose. Kind of maybe what the Falcons should have did with Bijan.
Yeah, damn right. You're not gonna let Zach Wilson drop back 47 times. They know that. They know better not to do that.
I don't know, especially not against that defense.
Exactly.
No.
You know, I mean, the Eagles did have a couple guys out. Jalen Carter was out on the defensive line, so that probably had an impact on Brees getting them runs. But I just think ultimately Philadelphia they've been threading that needle all season, just squeaking by, getting these wins.
And they caught up with them.
And they caught up with them against a good defense. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Right.
And that's exactly what happened. You know, all the other teams that they played, they really haven't played anybody.
Quietly, the Jets are 3-3.
The Jets are 3-3 at 500. They're 500. Yeah.
So for a team who was all hope was lost, they are a 500 team.
I mean, but if Buffalo keeps winning, Miami keeps winning, they're going to be third.
They just have a tough division, but they are 3-3. Don't grades past that.
They winning 2 games in a row. I mean, they keep going. We'll see what happens. That defense that's carrying them though, ultimately. So
yeah, well, they said they was gonna be the best defense in the league, and shit, they got 3 wins, and they came off of defense.
Yeah.
So hey, my other overarching takeaway was the injuries.
That's every week, boy.
Yeah, but this week was some very, very key ones. You got Justin Fields getting hurt. You got Christian McCaffrey getting hurt. You have
Trevor Lawrence.
Yeah. You got some very important injuries. These aren't like light injuries. Deebo Samuel. So, I don't know, man. It impacts a lot in terms of moving. We're gonna see how this matches up, and the injury report is going to be key.
Yeah, it is.
For week 7.
Absolutely.
Who's in, who's out.
Who's out.
What is going to be very key to see if you're trying to figure out those rosters, lineups on fantasy, on your parlays, on your straight bets, whatever. Like
my fantasy definitely took a hit to injuries. Justin Fields and Christian McCaffrey. Blowed.
Yeah. Justin Fields was my starting quarterback. He only got 6 points.
Should have kept Jared Goff in there.
Yeah, he went down. He only had a little less than 6 points, like 5.92 or something like that. Yeah. And that was dead. So
speaking of Jared Goff, though,
I lost by like 6 or 7.
Speaking of Jared Goff, man, the Lions, they are rolling. They are rumbling. But they have a tough matchup this week against the Baltimore Ravens, man.
They do.
They got a tough matchup this week against the Baltimore Ravens. What they do in this game is going to tell me everything. It's going to tell me everything I need to know about the Detroit Lions, man. And this game is on the road as well.
But I don't want you to get too far into that.
Nah, I ain't get too far into it.
We got to talk about that in our next video when we get into the rundown. So,
appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to the channel for more videos.
Yes,
Week 7 rundown, best bets, and dog of the week coming soon.
Rundown is on the way. Y'all stay tuned. This one is important.
We out.